Welcome back, Nerd Squad. We have talked a ton about hot female superheroes, but something we have yet to touch on is the hotness that we see in male superheroes as well. Comics are just full of hot heroes because obviously someone who is strong, fast, agile, and skilled enough or superpowered enough to save you would appear attractive to you. Both psychologically attractive, just and brave for saving you, hot, and physically attractive. There is usually a certain physique that comes along with such abilities. Today we'll be exploring the nitty-gritty of just what makes these superheroes so attractive, but this time on the male side of things, as we count down the top 10 hottest alternate male superheroes. We will be exploring this topic through alternates of heroes, cause what better way to possibly learn about a new story or comic series while at the same time exploring each angle of a superhero's potential look and personality. And be sure to stick around till the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10, Moon Knight. This version of Moon Knight actually ends up also becoming the ultimate version of Ronin. He hails from the Ultimate Earth of 1610. Ultimate Moon Knight proves speedy enough to hold off Spider-Man in a fight, and still initially reps his bold white costume and cape, which Spider-Man criticizes him for. Spider-Man remarks that even he knows wearing white to a fight is insane, and he is dealing with deep emotional problems stemming from his chaotic dual life, ironically enough. Of course, this version of Mark Spector would completely understand some of that strain, as he still has his multiple personalities, which is another thing that kind of makes him weirdly attractive in my opinion. There is something about him sliding into other personas that makes him feel both more wild and adventurous than some of the other heroes. And he also looks real good in his Ronin outfit as well. Number 9, depowered Kyle Rayner. What could be sexier than working hard to overcome your struggle? That is what this alternate version of Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, is forced to do in JLA Act of God. To be honest, if you want to skip to the hottest part for this alternate, you'll just want to skip ahead to issue number 3. Issue 1 and 2 are kind of just filled with a lot of Rayner tantrums. In Act of God, the superheroes all simultaneously find themselves depowered and begin to question their motives for being a hero, and just what makes a hero in the first place. Eventually, Kyle comes to realize that it is his willpower that makes him unbeatable, and without his power ring, he can still harness that willpower to train, becoming even stronger and becoming a hero once more, which is honestly what makes this alt version so sexy. That and the cut muscles he works on while training with his punching bag, but maybe hold those tantrums. Number 8, Biker Nightwing. This alternate version of Dick Grayson is a biker who is hired by Catwoman to help break into a facility belonging to Lex Luthor. He is not the most considerate version of Nightwing, often putting his safety before others, but aside from him being a sometimes jerk, which, let's be honest, so is main continuity Nightwing, he is a skilled driver and combatant. Obviously, his affiliation with motorbikes is part of the appeal here, that and the fact that he often prefers to wear no shirt under his leather jacket, showing off his sweet chest tattoo. But also, in reality, being shirtless under a leather jacket would be kind of sweaty, but I guess being kind of sweaty can be hot. I mean, it's literally hot, so yeah. Number 7, Wally Allen. Wally Allen comes to us from the Superman/Batman mashup comic and is an amalgamation of both versions of the Flash. Why pick a hotter Flash when you could just have both combined? The only thing I will say about this version is I do miss Wally's bright red hair. This version of both Barry Allen and Wally West combined only makes a brief appearance, but like I said, it's the combination of the two characters and likely their best traits that makes this alternate so attractive. 2 Flashes is theoretically better than 1. Number 6, DC Bombshells Arthur Curry. This version of Aquaman comes to us from the sexy pinup world of DC Bombshells. And while you may have thought the female supers and villains in this universe were the main attraction in terms of hotness, you'd be wrong. Well, you'd be right there, the main attraction, but there's also some hot guys. This alternate universe also boasts of some very attractive gentlemen too, among them being Arthur Curry. This version of Aquaman saves Mara while out on the sea and brings her back to his lighthouse on the coast of Ireland. There, he takes care of her while she recovers, and she falls in love with him, which is completely understandable. This sexy sailor version of Arthur is often depicted either looking adorable in cozy sweaters or shirtless, looking ripped as heck with tattoos on his chest and back. Number 5. Batman, the Dark Prince Charming. This alternate version of Batman is getting a nod mostly because I love the artwork in this book and I just love the way Bruce and Batman are both drawn here. He also has a pretty sexy interaction with Selina Kyle following an implied night of passion. This alternate version of Batman is dark, brooding, and comes with that perfect divide between his perceived persona of Bruce Wayne, typical rich jerk, and Batman, Dark Knight and somewhat stoic savior. Combine some of that main continuity Batman feel with the dark, sexy, and somewhat adult comic feel that is the Dark Prince Charming, and you get one sexy version of Daddy Bats. Number 4. King. This alternate version of T'Challa's Black Panther comes to us from Earth 18136. He appears in the 2018 Exile series and is still the Prince of Wakanda, but leaves his homeland after the death of his father, hell-bent on revenge. He ends up becoming a renegade in the Wild West, following the outlaw Eric Magnus, who killed his father and Eric Magnus's gang. Tradition states that if you leave Wakanda, you may never return. So this version of T'Challa is a lone wolf who can never truly return home. There is something about him in this stylized getup and his determination to get revenge that makes him irresistible. Number 3. Superman Prime. He's not only super evil and super insane, but he's also super hot. Superman Prime, formerly known as Superboy Prime, just has that allure of a superhero turned bad. We all like to take a walk on the dark side every now and then, and Superman Prime helps scratch that itch. He also just comes with a great story of a man who is basically driven insane because of his inability to see the world from any other perspective than his own. And what's even better, Superman Prime likely still thinks that he's the hero of the story. His darker look and, as always, impressive Superman physique is what locks him into the number 3 spot on this list. Number 2. Gambit the Collector. This version of Gambit has his eyes on some prize lucky knives made from the bones of Longshot himself, and takes the place of the Collector on Doom's Battleworld, Earth 61610. Gambit will always be one of the hottest male supers around because of his charm, his Cajun accent, and his nimble thieving fingers, no matter what alternate we are talking about, and this one is of course no exception. His outfit is similar to his Earth 616 counterpart, except instead of his sometimes weird body armor, he wears a black embroidered shirt and an untucked red cravat. As always, he still manages to have the best hair and almost manages to escape Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde, who are in pursuit of him. Number 1. Earth 43 Batman. Is it weird that I find vampire Batman so hot? I don't think so. Vampires have always been known for their sexy factor, and this somewhat corrupted version of Batman is no exception. This version is investigating the slash-throat murders when he notices that he's becoming stronger and also starting to have an aversion to sunlight. Batman, of course, is becoming a vampire. In his fight against Dracula, whose vampire followers are the ones behind the murders, Batman actually sacrifices his own humanity to defeat the blood-sucking fiend, in doing so becoming a full-fledged vampire himself. There is something really sexy about both Batman's sacrifice in this alternate story and later his loss of control, as he struggles to hold on to his own humanity and uphold his own sense of morality. Something about that struggle, I don't know, I like it when people struggle. I think struggling is sexy, confidence is sexy, these are the things that are the most sexy. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed this list. What are some of your favorite alternate superheroes? Who do you think is the hottest male superhero around? Which alternate male superhero do you think is by far the hottest? And what do you think makes a person or character attractive? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Hottest Alternate Versions of Harley Quinn. Reginald Dove comments, "One thing about Harley, her crazy is kept in check as long as you are faithful to her." True. Or as long as she believes you're still faithful to her. Harley does get paranoid sometimes and second guess the loyalty of those around her, which has been known to sour her mood and make her act more impulsively. Selena writes, "Harley's Dark Prince Charming look is like Pennywise, lol." The sexiest Pennywise I've ever seen personally. Also, I would urge you all against Googling images for sexy Pennywise. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and opinions shouted out in a future list. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight, reminding you, as always, to stay nerdy, YouTube.